Alrighty, this is Diesel We the People News. Okay, that flag right there was supposed to represent freedom. Okay, now when you look down here, is there a gold syringe? In our court buildings, there's gold syringes. Okay, that is a military tribunal flag, y'all. Alright, now I'm sure just like some of y'all, we've all kind of looked around and did research and find out some things that we may not have known, and also things that we do not believe, right? I'm an idiot, y'all, and I'll just plain out admit it. But according to my definition, an idiot is an average man, okay? I am not perfect by any means. So anything I say on my videos, to y'all, it's hearsay, okay? With these videos that I end up finding, either one, I've already researched what they're saying, and I just put it up there to remind me, or number two, I'm looking at the codes and I'm gonna research the codes to see if it benefits me. Everything I'm doing is in generally to benefit me and my family, okay? Now, that being said, I'm making these videos for my purposes, okay? It wasn't really particularly for y'all, all right? Now, that being said, I want you guys to come on this journey with me. Why? Because you guys are my brothers and sisters. And I should say not guys, but men and women, okay? We know that there's something wrong out there. And especially the people that's kind of researching some of these things, right? Now, there is a lot going on out there. However, I also come to understand that government has had almost 200 years of zipping we the people. Okay? They had all kinds of ways of twisting things and put you in one jurisdiction, into another jurisdiction, into this jurisdiction, and into this other jurisdiction. Okay? So, even though that you guys think some of these things may not be true and correct, in fact, it may be just a particular jurisdiction it's in. Okay? So, stop. Figure out what jurisdiction you're actually operating in that time. Everything is based on jurisdiction. Okay, I have a video, a couple of videos back, right, that gives you guys some ideas of case laws that says it's okay to challenge jurisdiction. But when you got people sitting there making videos about court, saying that it's a sovereign citizen and all this kind of stuff, well, it's not a sovereign citizen thing to challenge jurisdiction. And it's not a sovereign citizen demand that judge to tell you when the case law says they must tell you. Okay? You just got to figure out that what the judge is doing is trying to put you in a particular jurisdiction, and they don't want you to know. Okay? Now, which jurisdiction at the time it may be, I don't know. I'm not in your shoes. Okay? A speeding ticket is a totally different jurisdiction than family court. And family court is the most corrupt system there is. Family court. But when you read it and understand what it is with the 4D contract, then they actually told you what it is. What's corrupt about it, y'all, is how they try to manipulate you. Try to force you and cram it down your throat when the Constitution says that you have a right to contract. But if you have a right to contract, you have a right to deny contract. Government has no say of any type of contract you and the person, wink, 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 is to enter in, right? But I believe, in my opinion, because I'm not an attorney and I'm not giving legal advice, all right? And this is a learning video as well. When you find out it's a contract and you don't have to enter this contract, they want to threaten you of any shape, form, and fashion. In the case I'm helping out on, you know, we already got rid of 2 judges. They actually had to put a what do you call them? A senior judge. What a senior judge is an older judge that's been retired, pulled out of retirement, and to go into the courtroom and go into the jurisdiction of common law. Okay? But what he is trying to do is shape, and form that common law still back into a civil contract. Okay? That's just one incident right there, right? Because we did everything within the guidelines like a common law thing, other judges thought we was operating in common law, which we wasn't, and we was at the same time. We was operating as men and women. Okay? So there has to be some type of victim under common law, but there was no victim. Okay? So they absolutely did not have jurisdiction in common law, and they did not have jurisdiction in civil law, and they did not have jurisdiction in what? Criminal law. So therefore, there was no jurisdiction. In fact, what it was a family court deal. And how they end up getting authority to get the jurisdiction, wink, 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 is because when you got married, instead of the church marrying you, they made the church pastor say by the state you're in. Okay? So when you did that, you waived your marriage into a contract, and now your husband and wife is the state. All right? Now you may or may not believe it. Don't care. Do your own research. Okay? I'm just telling you my opinion. I'm not giving legal advice. All right? I'm just throwing some things out there for learning materials. Okay? Do your own research. Read the 4D contract. As a matter of fact, in a couple of my other videos, I tell people 100%. It is fine and dandy to get a marriage. Find a preacher that will marry you, if you choose so, that he will not involve the state. Okay? Number 2, you and your significant other read the 4D contract before marriage, during marriage, and if, God forbid, after marriage. That way both of you guys had the full understanding what is the cause and effect of the actions you guys decide to do. Alright? Number 3. Make your own contract. The government cannot intervene in private contract, y'all. And you must stand on the Constitution with this. You guys put, if you decide to cheat, you're going to give me $30,000. Or if the other one decides to cheat, $30,000. Okay? However, do the split with your offsprings 50-50. No matter what, because that offspring of yours has no contract. It don't get to be involved in your contract. Okay? It's got a daddy and it's got a mommy, and it wants to spend equal time. You guys out there are the ones screwing the kids up when you go through this. You know, it's also a violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution, violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, and if you do want to press in there, it's also a violation of the 14th Amendment. Alright? Family court, just them three by itself is a violation of the Constitution. So, understand due process. Alright? Anytime due process has been hindered, impeded, is denial of due process. Delayed due process is denied due process. Okay? So, if an officer decides to arrest you, he's to take you to the magistrate right then and there. You don't get to see the jail cell before the magistrate. Why? Because you are innocent, so the judge must make the determination that there is probable cause. We've seen these First Amendment auditors out there, right? It's been dismissed the next day. Speaking of which, dismissed. Either ask for acquittal or ask for a dismissal with prejudice, so a year later they don't come back at you. We've seen that done with cop watchers and auditors out there, haven't we? Okay, well, some of y'all. Alright, so make sure it's with prejudice if there's a dismiss, and ask for acquittal. That's the far most important part. Ask for acquittal, not dismissed, but acquittal. If they will not give you acquittal, then ask for a dismissal with prejudice. Okay, do not assume. You want it in writing. Okay, this happened to my son with the grand jury. I went over there and I told them I'm fixing to start making claims, and because this due process has been violated, and if they don't hurry up, I'm going to start making claims, and I need everybody's name in this building. Every prosecutor in here. I also want this, the clerk's name. I'm going to grab everybody's oath of office, and we're going to start filing claims. Alright? Mainly because, well, it was pissed me off that they was saying, well, you need to go there and go over here, when we're trying to figure out how to get the grand jury. And they said, well, they talked to us and all that kind of stuff for about 5 minutes. And we came to a contract agreement. Okay? And they said they're going to look into it and they're going to let us know within 24 hours. Because I was serious. I was going to go down to a coffee shop and we was going to start making claims right then and there. And Lord behold, 24 hours, they agreed to the contract and they upheld the contract. They dismissed the case with prejudice in writing. So yes, it can be done, people. All right, especially when it's legal for these prosecutors to lie to the grand jury. Just saying, if it's legal for them to lie to them, and if the person may or may not be innocent, they still got to prove it. All right, that's just no evidence of us. They still got to prove it. However, each and every time you say you're not guilty or no contest or guilty, you made the claim. They had to prove it. But when they said, well, you have to do this, this no contest, no not guilty and guilty. Well, it took it out of their hands. All right, you tacitly agreed to making the claim. Why, y'all? Because you, number one, you forgot your Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate yourself. You just incriminated yourself by making that plea. They know that you guys are waiving your Fifth Amendment rights, y'all. And it's not an easy process. When you butt heads with the government, they do not like losing. Okay? They don't like it. So, that being said, it may or may not be beneficial to comply. Just saying. I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. Okay? It's just my opinion, and it's a learning type of video at this particular time. But I wanted to make sure that you guys understood where I stood on my videos. It was for me to learn and to remember researches, and I can go back and see that maybe something has happened and I need to go back through it again, okay? Because by gosh, I'm not perfect. I'm an idiot. All right? I am trying to wave my way through the thorn bushes just like everybody else. Okay? Just like the cop watchers say, you know? Go ahead and accept the blue line, right? Back them up until they turn around and do it to you or your family. Okay? We are starting to actually see officers getting in a little bit more trouble nowadays. Because, well, they've been, how would I explain that? We actually have evidence now that they are causing harm to the people. See, we didn't have video recorders back when I was young. They was bad. Because, you know, there was no proof of their actions. And they always took their word against ours. But we can film, and then we actually have clear filming nowadays. So a lot of things has changed, but some of these officers are hoping and praying that they pick on the non-educated of their rights people. Okay? This video is taking way too long, but I just wanted to kind of pop on here and say, you know, thank you for subscribing. And I don't script anything, so I will make mistakes. Even if I script things, I would make probably mistakes. Okay? It's a learning process for all of us. You know as well as I do, there's things that's just not right. Okay? Something's not right. If you're paying for property tax on your private property and you have a right to have it, then they, in turn, stole your rights and turned it into a privilege. This is the reason why nowadays is getting really a foothold of people turning in their license plates and license when they found out it's a right. Because we gave up a right for a privilege. Second Amendment says not to be infringed upon. Well, when you ask for a permit, that's an infringement. Okay? Well, you can make all the excuses in the world. And you can accept all the excuses in the world, but infringement is still an infringement. We can claim safety this and safety that. Infringement is still an infringement. Alright? So, getting a little rain out here, and I'm out here in the rain, kind of enjoying it because it's been a hot, dry summer, and getting a little wet. a little nippy now. I kind of actually feel good being a little nippy. I don't like the cold, but it feels good now. Alright, my camera is even getting a little foggy and all that. But if or when I decide to go cop watch, I hope that I learn enough knowledge to be able to fight this on my own. You know, where I don't have to back up with attorneys and all that. And so when I end up raising my grandbaby, it gave me a chance and a time to actually still do more research of what is what legalese and lawful is, and hopefully it benefit me if and when I decide to do so again. If I find the right time, I will do it. I'm not going to go out of my way right now. I still got paperwork to do with of making sure, you know, if anything shall happen, that in 10 minutes my wife can take it down to the jailhouse and have me released without a bond. You know, because 9 times out of 10 everything's a violation of due process. There's going to be notice of liability, and there's going to be a notice of liability of trespass. And my paperwork is not going to say plaintiff or defendant. It's going to say claimant and wrongdoer. And it's going to go after the man acting as. Why? Because I'm going after the man. The man is the one that trespassed upon my rights. Okay? It wasn't that uniform. That uniform can't speak. It wasn't a name on that paperwork that arrested me. It was that man in that uniform. So I'm going to be going after the man and the woman. Now, that being said, if you want millions or hundreds of $1,000s, you may want to go under the going after the county members or the city members. I don't care about money. Never have. All right? I worked my ass off, but it wasn't because I cared about money. Just something I did. Going after the man and woman to hold them responsible of their actions and tie my name to their bank account. All right? Always remember this, y'all. Every government officials have insurance. You can go after their insurance. How to do it is still a work in progress even for me, because they hide things. They cannot stand to be responsible for themselves. All right? They want you to be responsible for yourselves, but they cannot stand to be responsible for themselves. They're under the illusion that they have all this sovereign citizen immunity. Okay? Well, people, hate to bust your bubble. Okay? I may or may not be sovereign. But if I was sovereign and the man next to me is sovereign, then I have no authority to another sovereign man. So therefore, when you can make all these sovereign words and say sovereign is power over people and all that. No. Sovereign is overpowered by the servant. But sovereign cannot be overpowered by another sovereign. And then the Constitution said we are all sovereign. Okay? I'm not saying I'm sovereign. I'm just saying if I was, that my brother and sister next to me is just as sovereign as I am, and I have zero authority over them. So, I'm just a man. No more, no less, y'all. Okay? I have no authority over another man or a woman that's next to me. As well as if I was a sovereign, I had no more authority over another sovereign man or woman. Okay? However, as a man and as a sovereign, I may have authority over my servant. And they cannot stand that. Period. So they will lie, cheat, and steal your rights and trespass upon everything you believe to be true and correct to do so. And they will manipulate you, mislead you, and misguide you to do so. Remember, y'all, all government officials, or 90% government officials, knows more about the Fifth Amendment than we the people do. They will absolutely keep their mouths shut. They will never apologize because their attorneys tell them not to apologize. Because when you apologize, it means you are in the wrong. And you just agreed to them you're in the wrong. So for you cop watchers and auditors out there, never apologize to them. You're admitting to them that they are in the right and you are in the wrong. And that's exactly what they are doing. Okay? That's the reason why they will not apologize. In due time, they might. When they actually find out they actually are a servant, then in due time, when they find out they can actually lose their job or sit in a jail cell, then they may actually apologize and then be an honorable man or woman. I forgive you of your trespass because you want to be forgiven of your trespass. That is honor, y'all. Diesel We the People News. Till next time. Bye, y'all.